Hello, my name is Muireann Maguire and I'm going to read you a brief extract from my translation of Aleksandr Beliaev's 1926 novella Professor Dowell's Head, which appeared in English translation for the first time in 2015 from publisher Russian Life in this lovely collection of Soviet and Russian science fiction Red Star Tales. So, as I begin to read, you have to imagine our heroine, Miss Adams, walking into a very strange laboratory indeed. Miss Adams entered a completely dark room. A switch clicked, and the brilliant light from a hemispherical ceiling lamp filled the room. Miss Adams involuntarily covered her eyes. After the gloom of the office, the pure whiteness of the walls was blinding. The glass panels of the cupboards shone with glittering surgical instruments. The steel and aluminium of various apparatuses shone with a cold light. Polished copper components reflected a heavy yellow gleam. Pipes, retorts, machines, glass and metal. In the middle of the room stood a large dissecting table. The headless corpse of a man lay on the table with the rib cage exposed. By the table was a glass case holding a pulsating human heart. Narrow tubes led from the heart to various containers. Miss Adams turned her head away. Suddenly, she saw something that made her shudder as if from an electric shock. A human head was watching her, only the head without a torso. It had been fixed to a square glass panel, which was supported by 4 tall, shiny metallic legs. From the severed neck and the arteries, 2 tubes led away to the containers through an opening in the glass. A third, thicker tube connected the head to a large cylinder. The cylinder and the containers were supplied with taps, manometers, thermometers, and other devices Miss Adams didn't recognize. The head looked at her attentively and sorrowfully, blinking its eyes. There could be no doubt that the head was alive. Separated from its body, it led an independent and fully conscious existence. In spite of the shocking sight before her, Miss Adams could not fail to notice that this head looked astonishingly similar to a famous scientist who had died not long before, the surgeon Professor Dowell, celebrated for his experiments with the revival of organs extracted from fresh corpses. Miss Adams had attended his brilliant public lectures more than once, and she clearly remembered that high forehead, the distinctive profile, the wavy light brown hair and beard silvered with gray, the sky blue eyes. Yes, this was Professor Dowell. Only his lips and nose had become sharper, drier, his temples and cheeks drawn in, his eyes had sunk into their sockets, and his white skin had acquired the dark yellow tinge of a mummy's. But living human awareness sparkled in his eyes. Miss Adams felt the roots of her hair tingling, but as if she'd been bewitched, she couldn't look away from those pale blue eyes. The head soundlessly moved its lips. That was too much for Miss Adams' nerves. She sensed that she was close to fainting. The assistant supported her and led her out of the laboratory.